And welcome inside the Backstage Pass, almost a hump day Wednesday, but we'll call it a Tuesday here on the show. KKTC True Country 99.9. And of course, our friends out there at HighTideCountry.net, always powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. And of course, my guest today, no stranger to the show. We started doing Texas Country about 3 or 4 years ago. He came on, was one of the first guys in line to say, hey, let me do that little thing called sports and music. Kyle Park back here on the show, Texas Country guy. What's going on, brother?
Living the dream here in Fredericksburg, Texas. I'm outside right now on the back porch and just enjoying the day. And home, I had 3 shows this past weekend. I'm off this weekend, so I get to watch the Masters. I'm very, very excited about that. and that's it. Just just hanging out and writing songs, getting things done, and raising the family.
Yeah, how's the tour schedule been for you guys? I'm sure it's been busy to start 2024, right?
Yeah, not crazy busy, right where I want it to be. You know, I mean, I've been touring now for 20 years, and the first 17 was just nonstop play as much as you can, take whatever you can, and now I'm a 3-year-old, and I've definitely become more selective these past few years in a good way. But I'm still playing, 6 to 8 shows a month. More private shows this year than usual, which has kind of kept me out of the public. But I'm still, I played 3 shows this weekend. I've got 2 more at the end of the month, a private show this week, and then some more in May and June, and then picks up in June.
Well, let's talk about the latest releases out there. All-nighters, too, man. Loved it. Got a chance to listen to the copies. They're Apple Music, both, of course, the original and the stripped version there, too, for this one. The idea behind it, the story, and kind of give me everything. Spill the beans. Love the song.
Oh, and all-nighters, yeah. That was – well, most of this record, actually, I wrote over the phone with friends, like just on Zoom calls or, FaceTime writes. And this was one of the first times I've ever written with 3 other guys. It was 4 people, and they were all in the same room in Nashville, and I was on the other end in Fredericksburg here. And it's just, man, it just feels good. It's a feel-good song. It's a song about, not just, beer drinkers and party, hellraisers, but it's about truck drivers and, police officers are, all-nighters as well. And musicians, all-nighters. Just the red eye, people who fly the red eye, just all kind of different people. But it definitely feels good to play live. And that's what I knew when we recorded that song. I was just like, oh, I need this kind of jam in the set. And it feels good to play live.
No doubt, too. Well, you're no stranger to Texas Country. And I tell you, man, I don't know what's in the water now these days, Kyle, but these guys are coming out. Doing it more and more now. You look at Uncle Lucius and you look at some other acts. Of course, Randall King, hot right now too, and other guys. And I think it's an important time that some people are bringing back Zach Top, throwing kind of right in there too in the fire, because a lot of these guys are bringing back your sound. What you've done for the last 20 years and your body of work. And of course, a lot of musicians out there, Roger Krager and Aaron Watson, and all that, just that old sound. I think a lot of people are hungry for this again, right?
It looks like it and it sounds like it. And I've even thought, the record making process is a process. It doesn't just happen overnight. Half of that record came out years ago, my new all-nighters record. So I kind of knew where the direction needed to go for that particular record. But now looking forward to my next project, record number 8, I'm thinking about going more country than I ever have. I'm not saying I will, but I feel like I want to. I want to make a different style record, because when I look around me, I do see, artists like Zach Top, Randall King, et cetera, doing, Cody Johnson's doing really well. And compared to the other brands of country music, Zach's, Jake, my buddy Worthington, he's fantastic as well. Like, I like the idea of bringing back, those real traditional sounds. I've always tried to kind of play both like traditional country and kind of up-tempo modern country. I wouldn't call it pop country. I wouldn't call it Nashville. Just more like just a little more produced than, like, I'm not trying to make garage country. I'm not trying to make like just, I don't know. I don't like, I'm not much on me being an Americana artist or a folk artist. I like production and filling the gaps with fiddle and steel and piano and all those things. But I think the next record's going to have just more of a just country driven feel to it. And I love all-nighters, but that probably wouldn't make the next record, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and going back and listening to it, man, loved it when it came out there January of this year. And A Broken Heart like that was one of my favorite ones off of there too. And then of course,
Thank you.
I love it. What's Your Drinking Song? That's got to be one of the
Yeah.
ones. It's just if it ain't dance hall, I don't know what is, but that is, man, no doubt.
No, I love that one. I plan on playing that one today, and we actually have a stripped version of that coming out pretty soon. Like an acoustic
Okay.
version. It's really cool. I went back and I took out the bass and the drums and added in like a piano and made it more of like a ballad type song. But it's still really great. That's a fun one to play live as well.
When you look back at one called Broken Heart like that, give us a little backstory on the kind of the evolution of that one, where it came from.
Yep. I love telling the story because I had the idea for this song when I was on stage. I was just playing along halfway through the set, and I just saw a girl out in the crowd. She just was like, just giving me. I thought she was giving me the look, I'm like, man, what did I do, But for real, and immediately once I recognized her, and I think she was just in her own world because a guy walks up and changed her attitude completely. She threw a smile on her face and she's laughing, and my thought the whole time was like, man, what did he say to get her to change her attitude? And like what was his pickup line? What did he say? Something like, "Hey girl, where'd you get a broken heart like that?" And I made it up in my head as I was singing some other song, and I thought that could be a good song. So I went back to my talkback mic and I told my tour manager, "Hey man, write this idea down." And anyway, so I don't forget. Mm-hmm. It's weird how a song comes to mind, but yeah, it's one of the ones that came to mind as I was singing something else. I had that idea. So. Yeah.
I love another track off there too. As you ask you about, I always call it the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why.
That's what I call it. It's called W5 on the set list.
W5.
Yeah.
What's a little backstory of that one? I love that. Love that song.
Well, I appreciate that. That's I think my personal, like as a songwriter, that was my favorite song because it's the intention was, hey, I want to write a song today, and every song's a question. I mean, I don't. That was the whole point of the song. I had that title before I had anything else. And it's just a story. It's just that one kind of fell out. There's no personal connection to that song. There's no woman about that for me, but or any couple. But it was in that situation. I'm like, all right, if I were the guy, how would I feel and what would I say to this girl who is kind of leaving me high and dry here? And yeah, it was just such a fun way to create. It was a fun creation. Just the challenge of all right, every line. Damn near has to be a question, and that was the goal.
No doubt about it too. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll turn it over to you now too. I guess a good time for What's Your Drinking Song. We should start there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Good. Kyle Park here on the Backstage Pass. Take it away.
I don't have to know your number. I don't care where you're from. Ain't gonna bore you with those worn out pickup lines, girl. You've heard everyone. I figure I've got one shot to make my move. Gotta say it all right. Gotta play it cool. If you'll give me a second, I've got a question to ask you. Just tell me what you're drinking song. If I know it, girl, I'll drink along. Is it old or is it something new? Does it remind you why you drink here too? Maybe you've had more than one. I've never heard that jukebox get it wrong. Nobody ever wants to drink alone. So tell me what you're drinking song. Oh yeah. If you ask me, I'm a sucker for anything Jones. Then pour in some Haggard and nothing else matters. I ain't going home. I've got songs when I'm up, got songs when I'm down, songs I keep singing round after round. I ain't sure what you're feeling, but maybe this evening we'll figure it out. Just tell me what you're drinking song. If I know it, girl, I'll drink alone. Is it old or is it something new? Does it remind you why you drink here too? Maybe you had more than one. I've never heard that jukebox get it wrong. Nobody ever wants to drink alone. So tell me what you're drinking song. Maybe you've had more than one. I've never heard that jukebox get it wrong. Nobody ever wants to drink alone. So tell me what you're drinking song. Nobody ever wants to drink alone. So tell me what you're drinking song. Yeah, what's your drinking song?
I love it a little bit. What's your drinking song out there? It's a question we're posing here on the Backstage Pass today, too. Off the album All Nighters from Kyle Park out there, too. We'll take a quick time out here, too, as well, for our friends out there, too. If you're looking to purchase some of that great jewelry out there, too. One place to go. Jewelry by Tommy is a great friend out there, too. Email our friend Tom Burley out there, too, at burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order. If it's your spouse, friend, or family member, Jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's our friends at Jewelry by Tommy. Also, a positive, uplifting message for country Christian music. Check out my buddy Jonathan Bond out there, too. Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter JonathanBond.com right there, too, as well, here on the Backstage Pass. More to come. We'll touch base with Kyle on a song called Rio that he put out, too, as well. And also, don't forget you come from. Come right back here on the Backstage Pass. We'll touch on that song from Kyle Park and a whole lot more here. Quick time out here. It is the Backstage Pass, KKTC, True Country, 99.9, and our friends at HighTideCountry.net. Stay tuned. Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
And back here with Kyle Park here on the show. Thanks to all of our work our sponsors do out there here on the Backstage Passing and powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com. And, of course, out there to KKTC True Country 99.9, Taos, New Mexico, Colorado. New time starts next week. Prime time, 6:30 to 7 o'clock, April 15th, 5 days a week out there on KKTC True Country. And also our friends at HighTideCountry.net net out there too. We mentioned All Nighters, but I got to go back to a song that I've seen you perform because we're Texas guys down here too. Rio, when it came out too, love this song. Everything you guys did about it was fantastic. The production, the vocals, instrumentation. For people that don't know, Kyle, tell them about this tune.
Oh man, I mean, one of my favorites for sure. Favorite videos, favorite songs, all the above. Writing experiences. I mean, I had this idea. The idea grew as we wrote the song. But I mean, originally it was about just me riding a horse up and down the mountains of Durango, the San Juan National Forest in Durango, Colorado. That's where I was when I had the idea. I mean, I was in the saddle when I had the idea for this song. It was like 4 in the morning. I had every valley and mountain. I ride up and down them, and I just got my phone and sang to my phone, and anyway, when I got to the writing session that day, the song became spiritual. It's like we thought, what if the horse is synonymous for just your relationship with God, and it's a kind of like about like letting go of the reins of life and trusting God in the darkness, not just the horse in the darkness. And it's like, and there's ups and downs in life, just like the mountain that the horse rides up, and you have to have faith and go with the flow sometimes, and just go where the horse takes you and go where life takes you. That's what really is what the song's about.
I tell you what, loving this one too, because it's really described, man, this can resonate with anybody out there too, no matter your background or where you come from, but that's what the song's about. Don't forget where you come from. And that was a great record for you guys too, when it came out 2018, I believe, when we had you on the show back then too. Fantastic project. Just kind of relay to everybody out there, Kyle, the highlights of this one, and especially that track, because that really resonates with every blue collar worker out there.
Oh, I mean, well, I wrote that one about, my dad, and my dad wasn't an oil field worker. My dad was a plumber, but I mean, if you take that and, my dad passed away when I was a kid. My dad never saw me play guitar, never saw me chase my dream. And I didn't want to be a plumber. I wanted to do my own thing. And, if my dad would have been around, he'd have told me that same thing to, don't forget to pray and make your parents proud, and don't forget where you come from. It's just it's a bumper sticker literally that it fell out one day, and they're all my favorite songs, for different reasons. But that really is the song that makes me more emotional than the other songs, and that one always gets to me, and a song I plan to play the rest of my life. And, yeah, it's an important one for me.
When you look at like I said, your body of work and what's to come this year, 2024, talk to us a little bit about the next few projects. I know you mentioned a little bit on it too, or what can be said right now with drop dates and things like that. What are you most looking forward to now for the rest of this year?
The album's out now. I've got more, stripped versions of songs coming out these next few months. I have a side project called the Texas Trio, and we're a Western swing band. And our debut album comes out in a month on May 17th, I believe our album comes out. 17. And it's me and 2-time Grammy Award-winning fiddle player Jason Roberts playing fiddle, and my longtime friend and manager John Michael Whitby on piano, and he's been playing for George Strait for damn near 19-20 years. Wow. So we play Western swing and old school country, and we've been doing it for about 3 or 4, 5 years now, just on the side for corporate events and private events, and we just had so much fun doing it. We decided to write some songs and put a record out, and now here we are, the Texas Trio.
I want to ask you too about the albums and how important is it? And this is something I really feel, because when I listen to a record, I'm not just listening to the ones that have like the star by it or the radio hits or the big ones that have gone up the chart. I'm listening to that first song, Kyle, that kind of leads off a record and really, to me, sets the tone for the rest of the album. How important is that when you guys walk in the studio to like, this is going to be that one song that really showcases the rest of the record and sets the tone for it? How important is that to you?
It's important, but I don't think we know it until the songs are all finished. Like, so often we go in there, and in my experience and other records as well, like you go in there and you might record 15, 20 songs, and some just don't make the record. They don't feel good. Or some you go in there thinking, I just like this song. We'll see how it goes. I don't know where, I don't have any, production intention or direction, but ends up being your favorite song. And sometimes you think this is the best song I've ever written, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't come out the way you thought it would. So it really isn't until the end of the batch where you're like, man, this song just feels like this should kick off the record. And it's, for us, that was, it took, until all 12 songs were recorded.
I love another one off that record. Don't forget where you come from. Smoking beers. I listened to that one too. Two things, yeah, go hand in hand, especially when you're in a dance hall on a Friday night trying to have a little fun, right?
That's funny. Yeah, that wasn't my. That was a Julia Cole's title there, and I was happy to be along for the ride on that one. That was a good song.
Good stuff. And then What the Heaven? We got to talk about this one too, because HEAVEN off the record. Don't forget where you come from. Let's dive into that one a little bit.
Yeah, that was I wrote that with CJ Solar. CJ wrote a bunch of number one songs in Nashville, as well as I wrote that with who was the third writer on that one? I think it was Brinley Addington, who I wrote All Nighters with. I also wrote The Key to Good Whiskey with. And, What the Heaven was just, of course, the play on words of What the Hell. And we just thought that'd be fun to write the song like, man, what the heaven, girl? It's kind of like, and we just took that funny idea and rolled with it. And again, like writing that song, I thought, let's just have fun. Who knows? And then you get halfway through, you're like, man, this really has like legs to it. And then I found that, that lick to it, and that helped kind of grow it to have like a head lick, and then that became the melody of the chorus. And so the song just grew from just a goofy idea to a number one song for me.
It was a great song, no doubt. Texas radio is so good, man, to you guys out there too. I love it, and we try to play as much as we can out there on KKTC New Mexico and up into Colorado too. And I just love it because now you got you're right, the songs that people want to hear being pushed to country radio. And I remember I'm gonna go old school Kyle Park here for people that don't know, especially out in that market, leaving Stephenville. Now, I've been to that town, so I understand. I understand being a Texas guy what that's all about.
That's funny. Nowadays, it's cool because it's become like the high school or mostly high school and college. But yeah, Tarleton State. Yeah. If you're graduating, that's kind of your theme song. I'm finally out of here. I'm leaving Stephenville, and I've seen it on their graduation caps. Leaving Stephenville, the back of their shirts, and it's become really cool to see that. An honor, of course, just to be affiliated with the town. So
that's a great town, no doubt about it.
That's the first song I felt like. This isn't a great song, but still, it feels good, and it becomes like my number one hit of my career. And I never would have thought that when I wrote it, but then when we recorded it in the recording studio, the musicians were like, "This is catchy, man. You're like, this is pretty good. Like, it just feels good." So you never know.
You just never know when it comes to being a hit song out there too. Well, hey, I know you got one more for us. We're gonna hear something new today, or is this gonna be something already out for listeners?
What do you think? I'll let you pick.
Oh man, I love everything Kyle Parks put out too. So I don't know, man. I could go back to anything right now. I mean, since we were talking about it, leaving Stephenville, it wasn't number one for you. Why not?
Sure, I'll do that one. That makes sense.
Let's do it.
There you go. I'm leaving Stephenville. I'm packed up and I'm ready. Checking out of my hotel, and I'm always in a hurry to get home at the end of a long weekend. When I hit that interstate, I'm southbound, boys, and trucking. Tell them girls they'll have to wait. They should know it's all or nothing when you're living on the road. There's always a few that never leave. But it's Sunday afternoon as I pass that city limit sign. Gotta get home soon. So until next time, I'm leaving Stephenville and I'm headed one direction, but we'll never make it there on this single tank unless I fill it up once again. And I pray that the wind stays at my back. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm leaving Stephenville and I'm headed straight to Austin. And after 12 days on the run, I just can't wait to get lost in my own bed, my own sheets. Man, I haven't gotten sleep in so long. But it's Sunday afternoon as I trace that old white line. Gotta get home soon. So until next time, oh, I'm leaving Stephenville. I'm leaving Stephenville. Oh, I'll be back, but until then, I'm leaving. Oh, Stephenville.
Yep, that's the old college song right there too. You did it all. You ready to get out of town?
What's that song?
Leaving Stephenville right there too. I love that when you've done it all and you know what Stephenville's all about. You mentioned Tarleton State, and you're like, hey, we're out of here. We've spread our wings and fly a little bit too. Number one song there from Kyle Park out there too. Again, check it out across all the streaming platforms and all nighters, both the strip version and of course the song. The album's out there too across all those digital platforms that came out in January of this year. Hey man, to wrap it up, let's have a little fun. I love doing this once we talk about our music stuff.
Yeah.
Do you like to cook? Do you like to grill? Is that one of your hobbies?
I don't dislike it, but I'm the older I get, the more I like to do it. I almost said forced to do it, but I like to grill. I don't like to cook a lot. I mean, I share the role in the kitchen, but my wife's a much better cook than I am, and but I do think the best steak is the steak at home right here on the back porch for sure.
That's the best one. And we actually butchered a cow, went in with some friends a while back too. Got a freezer full of meat. Don't have to buy meat for a year now too. And I can tell you some of the best things is putting a steak on the grill. It doesn't get any better than that too when it comes down to it. All right, let's have a little fun with this one too. Looking back, I know you've graced a lot of stages in your day when it comes to performing those stages. Is there one that you haven't stepped on yet? You're like, man, this is a bucket list stage to perform at.
I'm in the Grand Ole Opry. I've not been there yet. I'd like to do that, and I'm hoping to do that, in my career, but hopefully soon rather than later. I've played. I'm trying to think. I mean, that's it right there. I think so.
Grand Ole Opry. That's one of the classic ones out there too when it comes down to it. All right, the Kyle Park favorite beverage when he needs to wind down. What's that beverage you kind of go to?
I will tell you, it used to be Dr. Pepper, but after the pandemic, man, it changed my taste buds, and I don't even drink them anymore. It's funny. So I mean, it's probably just a cold light beer. I really just a light beer. I don't want a craft beer. I just want a light beer.
You want a light beer, something easy, no doubt about it. All right, if Kyle Park wasn't a musician, what other career path would he have taken?
That's the hardest question. I don't really know. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 14. I mean, professionally since I was 19. I just really don't know. I mean, it would be something in music like maybe the radio business or historian or work in a guitar store, or I don't think I'm good enough to give lessons, but it would be something in the music world, man. I mean, a producer. I love producing my records. So, but I don't know if I'd have found that if I wouldn't have been a musician. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a backup plan, put it that way.
I'm on that too, no doubt. All right, favorite shows, and I guess sports could even count in there too. Favorite shows to kind of binge watch when you want to just get lost in something. What do you like to watch?
I usually just binge watch what's on TV. Like I can put on Seinfeld and watch that. So I like comedies. Really, I do more comedies than anything else. I don't really care for reality TV that much. I mean, I will, but not my thing. And then sports. It's like I can watch golf. I know it puts people to sleep. I can watch golf all day long. I do like watching football because I like to gamble in the sense of like, to gamble, period. And that's why I like golf too. I mean, I love playing golf, and I love to just to have a little fun, and even like bet like $10. That's fine, just like.
Oh yeah, just have a little fun with it too as well. And that's of course the Masters coming up. You mentioned at the top of the show this weekend too. Always. Just one of the best ones to watch on TV, man. It's one of those. I'll stay awake in Augusta just to enjoy that tournament.
I mean, I tell you the truth. I would love to go to Augusta. If someone's out there listening, if you have an extra ticket, give me a ring. But at the same time, I thoroughly enjoy just being at the house. I can press pause if I need to and use the restroom, and I don't have to surf through the people and the HD TV. I can watch the whole dang tournament and never have. Anyway, it's my favorite week of the year to sit down and just watch. It's not March Madness. It's not the Super Bowl; it is the Masters. It really is. So
The Masters right there, CBS for a lot of years too as well. Well, I tell you what, man. Yeah, Jim Nantz. Yeah, it's just a great voice to listen to. You got to love Jim Nantz. You do. Doing it a long time out there too as well. I want to say, yeah, that's his focal point now because he actually gave up the retired from March Madness after all those years, and now really strictly to the Masters right there too. A tradition unlike any other. And I tell you what's a tradition out there is Kyle Park and Texas Country Music, keeping it real out there too. The new album is All Nighters across all those streaming platforms. Make sure you guys go check it out if you have not already too, especially out there in the markets of HighTideCountry.net and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9 out there too, and visit him at kylepark.com out there too for all the latest merchandise and tour dates and a whole lot more. Catch up with one of the best in Texas country. Kyle, appreciate the Vine. Appreciate you always coming back, showing us some love here on the broadcast. And my friend, as soon as the new record drops May 17th, Texas Trio out there too, feel free to give us a holler. We'll get you back and we'll wind it up and do it again, brother.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Always appreciate the time, brother. Thank you.
You got it. Kyle Park out there across all the streaming platforms. Of course, kylepark.com, and All Nighters is out there across all these streaming platforms. Check it out. We're back tomorrow. More episodes of the Backstage Pass. Again, powered by the Sports Guys, podcast.com, and out there, KKTC True Country 99.9, and our friends out there at HighTideCountry.net. We'll see you soon. God bless. Take care.